The film opens on a familiar family scene, but the tension is already there. We meet Sarah, a young girl desperate to go to a party at her friend's place. But her dad, Don, puts his foot down. Absolutely not. Sarah, frustrated, turns to her mother, almost begging, "Mom, just tell him you'll let me go." Her mom's reply is gentle but firm, trying to soften the blow. "Not tonight, sweetie, but you can go another day." That's when Sarah just snaps. The rejection, the dismissal, it makes her furious. She storms up to her room, where we briefly see her older sister. But later that very night, Sarah decides to defy her father. She slips out and heads to the party with her friend Christopher. Meanwhile, downstairs, Sarah's mother goes up to check on her, only to find the room empty. A wave of panic washes over her, and she immediately tells Don. And when Don hears that Sarah is gone, his temper flares. He becomes aggressive, totally enraged. The next morning, after spending the entire night out with Christopher, Sarah finally walks through the door. Don is waiting. He absolutely explodes, shouting and scolding her relentlessly. Just then, her mother arrives on the scene, probably drawn by the noise. A tearful, angry Sarah runs straight to her room to escape the confrontation. Upstairs, her mother and sister follow her in. Sarah, completely fed up, tells them her plan. 3 months, that's all. I'll be 18 in 3 months. I'm leaving. I'll go to my childhood friend and I'll live with him. I'm going to finally enjoy my life. Unbeknownst to them, Don is standing right outside the door, listening to every single word, and something clicks in his mind. He goes straight to the basement and opens a door no one knew existed, a secret room. Then he just waits. He waits for 3 months for the day she turns 18. Fast forward 3 months. It's the day we've been waiting for. Sarah is talking to Christopher on the phone. Her sister is out, and her mother has gone to the market. It's just Sarah and Don in the house. Don approaches her with a request that seems simple enough. "Sarah, I need to move a box down to the basement. Could you just help me for a minute?" She agrees. They carry the box down. Once they're there, Don stops and opens the door to that secret room. Sarah is absolutely stunned. A hidden room. She had no idea. Don takes her inside, and then he makes his move. It's a calculated, terrifying moment as he forcefully traps her. He locks her in the silent room and walks away, ignoring her desperate screams for help. Trapped, Sarah frantically tries to use her hairpin to pick the lock. It doesn't open the door, but it somehow causes the light to flicker and go out completely. The ventilation stops. In the total dark, she checks the box they brought down. Inside, she finds her essentials, the things she'll need to survive down here. She manages to get to the small ventilation window, shouting for help. Don, hearing her voice escaping, calmly walks over and closes the ventilation window. It's a completely silent room now. No sound gets out. Sarah's mother is, of course, terribly worried. She searches everywhere, but Don is unnervingly relaxed, totally unconcerned about his daughter. The next day, Sarah tries the door again. Again, the light flickers and dies. But then, Don comes down. Seeing her chance, Sarah pushes past him and tries to run. But she realizes the main basement door is also locked. Don easily overpowers her and drags her back to the room. His tone is menacing. He tells her, "If you obey me, I'll let you out." But Sarah refuses. She won't give in. This infuriates Don and he becomes aggressive, forcing himself upon her. Afterward, Sarah's condition is awful. She is so ill, she vomits. A week later, the police arrive. They're investigating her disappearance. Don lies smoothly, telling them she ran away. She wanted to separate from us and live her own life. But her mother cuts in, shaken. She said that, yes, but she never intended to actually do it. The police officer advises them to wait. Maybe Sarah will contact them. Meanwhile, Sarah is heartbroken, trying to process her father's unbelievable cruelty. Then, Christopher shows up, worried about Sarah. Don tells him the same lie, that she ran off with her childhood friend. 21 days pass, and it's Sarah's 18th birthday. Don brings down a cake and candles. He asks her to blow out the candle, and she does. She is finally obeying him, believing his promise that he'll release her soon. He gives her a costume to wear. Then, Don asks her for one birthday wish, promising he'll fulfill it. Sarah's desperate plea is, "I want to be released. I want to get out of this place." Don coldly replies that there's plenty of time left for that. So, Sarah changes her wish. "I want a clock and a TV." But Don, already enraged by her first wish, forces himself on her again. The next day, Don brings the clock and the TV. Later, Sarah cleverly sharpens a food can into a makeshift weapon and calls Don near. But Don is cunning. He sees her intention immediately. He beats her savagely so badly that he breaks her hand. A whole year passes. We see Sarah is now pregnant. She's in agonizing pain when she delivers a baby girl. Don is visibly unhappy when he sees his granddaughter. 4 years go by. Sarah's mother misses her terribly. Sarah is pregnant again. Don tells his wife he got a promotion. The mother responds by saying, "We should hire an investigator to find Sarah." Don immediately refuses and leaves. Inside the basement, the TV Don brought is a small comfort for Sarah and her daughter, a distraction from the misery. After a few more days, Sarah delivers her second child, a baby boy. One day, the daughter falls sick with a fever. Don brings medicine, but he and Sarah have a bitter fight. Christopher comes back, still looking for Sarah. He meets her sister, who tells him, "I feel like Dad hid her somewhere. But sometimes, I wonder if she just left us all." Sarah becomes pregnant a third time. Don and his wife have a huge argument about Sarah's disappearance. The sister confronts Don. "You are always so angry with her." Upset, their mother walks away, and Don follows her, wanting to smooth things over. As he chases after her, the keys to the basement fall from his pocket. The sister sees them, picks them up, and goes down to the basement to check. She sees various odd things down there and wonders what they're doing, but Don follows her quickly, sending her back upstairs. Sarah delivers her third baby, a baby boy. Desperate, Sarah begs Don, "Please, just take this baby outside. Give him to my mother." Don is struck with an idea. He secretly places the newborn baby outside the house. Sarah's mother hears the cries and goes out. There, she finds the baby and a note that reads, "Mother, I am Sarah. This is my baby. I can't afford to raise him. Please take him with you." Sarah's mother is convinced and adopts the baby. Don, however, finds a second note, one Sarah managed to hide, that tells the real truth. "Father has imprisoned me in the basement." Don flies into a rage. To punish Sarah for telling the truth, he forces himself on her again. Years later, Sarah's 2 basement children are older. One day, Sarah catches Don looking at her daughter with a sinister, bad intention. Sarah is instantly worried for her child's safety. Adding to her anxiety, the daughter also suffers from asthma. One day, Sarah notices the ceiling is leaking. She realizes there's a weak point in the floor above. She starts breaking through it, thinking, "If I make a hole, I can signal for help." She succeeds, and at night, a beam of light shines out. A neighbor sees the light. Unfortunately, he tells Don about it. "There's a strange light coming from a hole in your basement." Don is furious. He goes downstairs and beats Sarah so badly that she has a miscarriage. Her baby dies. Don buries the dead baby, and Sarah is consumed by sorrow. Sarah asks Don about the son she gave to her mother, the one who was adopted. Don mentions he'll be playing in a tournament next month. This sparks hope and longing in her older son, who asks, "When can we go outside to play?" Don replies, "When your mother behaves better with me, I'll take you out. Then you can play outside." Sarah, terrified for her children, immediately apologizes to Don for her kids asking to go out. When Don leaves, the children turn on her. "Why did you apologize? What did we say that was wrong?" Sarah explains, heartbroken, "I just want to protect you." Sad and missing the happier life she had before, Sarah remembers Christopher. She decides it's time to tell her children the truth about Don. The kids are shocked and terrified. The daughter is so scared, she has an asthma attack. Don is enraged that Sarah revealed the truth, and he starts beating her again. But this time, her son tries to stop him. As punishment, Don leaves and shuts off the basement light. Days later, we learn Don quit his job, and his savings are quickly dwindling. His wife asks him where all the money is going. Sarah breaks the ventilation system. Meanwhile, Don gets a notice from the bank. He has to leave the house because he hasn't repaid the insurance money. Panicked and unable to maintain his secret system, he decides to murder Sarah and the children. He hooks up his car's exhaust and pipes the smoke through the ventilation path. But just then, the son she gave to her mother, the one who was adopted, arrives at the house. Don is forced to stop the car. Years later, her daughter has another severe asthma attack. Sarah begs Don, "I have to take her to the doctor." Don refuses, but Sarah pleads and pleads. Seeing the daughter's condition, Don finally agrees, but he only takes Sarah and the girl. The son is ordered to stay behind in the basement. Stepping out of the basement, Sarah looks around her old house, and all the old memories come flooding back. At the hospital, her daughter's life is narrowly saved. A kind lady doctor asks Sarah to fill out a form. Sarah, realizing this is her chance, doesn't want to go back to that life. She throws water on the form. Don goes to get a new one. In that brief moment, Sarah approaches the lady doctor and hugs her fiercely. Don rushes back in. Sarah cries out to the doctor, "Please help me!" They realize something is seriously wrong. It is Sarah's luck that a police officer is nearby. The officer immediately catches Don. Don, defeated, confesses and reveals everything. Sarah's son is also rescued from the basement. Sarah's mother, seeing her children and realizing the truth about her husband, is completely broken and shocked. Don is imprisoned. Sarah, her sister, and her mother are finally relieved to be outside, and her children are happy and safe. Finally, Christopher comes to see Sarah. He's still unmarried. The film ends as Sarah and Christopher go on a long drive together, leaving the horrors of the past behind.